the project Cybersecurity with Minecraft. Lesson number 2 for first to fourth year students. Personally identifiable information. The digital sphere is not only messages and photos, but also the small details that, when combined, recreate a picture of a person's identity. In this lesson, we invite you to consider those fragments not as separate elements, but as parts of a broader story that we ourselves create, from academic profiles to public projects. Most importantly, understand that information has consequences, and it is worth weighing them before making it public, especially when we are talking about studies, job searches, or a team's reputation. The topic is especially relevant due to ubiquitous sharing and the abundance of digital services. What we consider a small detail can become a key to understanding and identifying a wider dataset. Learning here means not only technical knowledge, but also the ability to assess context and the consequences of one's decisions across different audiences, public, community, and private. Its relevance for students lies in everyday life. Social posts, messages, conference photos, and comments become an inseparable part of academic and professional identity, so the ability to assess consequences is a practical skill. Students learn not only to recognize risks, but also to formulate personal stances. What details are worthy of publicity, and what is better left to a limited audience? This is about freedom of choice and responsibility, which together determine the digital stories we create. The lesson will proceed through observation, example analysis, and role-based tasks. We will discuss how to recognize subtle signals and which actions are worth taking when suspicion arises. Practical scenarios will provide space to discuss decisions and their consequences in different contexts. Each task is designed to cultivate the habit of asking why before sharing. The reflection section is intended to turn observations into habits. Discuss what is worth changing, what to keep private, and when to seek help or use support tools. You can agree on simple rules within teams and modules. In this way, an academic community is formed in which everyone contributes to a safer digital environment. The long-term value lies not only in information, but in the habits the lesson encourages. Aim to acquire not only knowledge, but attentiveness, the ability to distinguish, pause, and decide. This is a longer-term skill. Consistent attention to details, context, and community norms gradually creates a safer and more responsible academic space. Learning here is understood as a sustainable process in which knowledge and practice reinforce each other. For lecturers, the topic is important as a means of integrating critical thinking and security practice into the study process. It provides an opportunity to build a supportive environment in which real challenges are discussed and shared behavioral guidelines are formed. Together, lecturers and students can create simple tools, agreements, check routines, and visual reminders that make everyday decision-making easier. In this way, the lesson becomes not only a source of information, but a starting point for long-term changes that strengthen the safety of the entire academic community. This story invites you to look at the internet through a detective's eyes, not only collecting isolated facts, but seeing the connections between them. We will observe how published fragments, photos, posts, comments, together create an impression of a person, and what consequences can arise when that impression is formed without reflection. During reflection, we can discuss what each of us noticed, which signals raised doubts, and how to turn that insight into a regular habit before making content public. We will travel to the detective's office, a data tunnel, and a sorting room, places where small details gain significance. We will examine the contexts of situations and analyze why it is worth thinking about editing and caution before sharing. In the lesson, you will meet characters whose publicly shared facts unexpectedly become little keys to identity. Their stories will serve as starting points for discussions about the consequences of decisions. The tasks will encourage stepping into others' roles, discussing situations where help is needed, and drawing boundaries, when to keep information to oneself and when to turn to a responsible person at the university, a lecturer, program coordinator, or IT support. We suggest discussing how individual values shape choices online. You will also need to analyze cases where imposters appear on social media, how to recognize artificially constructed credibility, which signs most often indicate inauthenticity, and how technical nuances can mask true intentions. The tasks will encourage recognizing signals that often betray manufactured trust and will prompt consideration of how to reduce the risk of accidental information disclosure. Reflection is oriented toward a balance of critical thinking, when to pause and verify. Another task invites analysis of various personal information leakage scenarios. Students are invited to consider cause-effect relationships, formulate clear actions, and agree on personal and group rules that would reduce the risk of similar situations. Finally, we will discuss cases where information is shared by family members. This topic may prompt reflection on how views on privacy differ within close circles, and which practices help reconcile safety with mutual respect. Here, we can discuss how to act when a relative's actions cause discomfort, and what guidance for help and decision-making can be applied at home. This provides an opportunity, together with the lecturer, to discuss concrete ways to formulate requests, agree on boundaries, and seek support when needed. The tasks highlight recurring patterns and relationships rather than single events. They invite consideration of the consequences of choices, reveal subtle dynamics, and help uncover shared guidelines across different situations. After these tasks, it is worth setting aside time for discussion. What was surprising? What one would like to change in one's own behavior? And what rules are worth agreeing on for the group? The topic here treats the cultivation of broader caution and shared habits, rather than merely conveying isolated rules. Learning means continual observation, reflection, and applying decisions in everyday life, so that small insights become natural choices. In this way, knowledge turns into practice, a communal ability to create a safer digital environment. The Project Cybersecurity with Minecraft. A sum of €50,525.18 has been allocated for the project's implementation, funded by the 2021 to 2027 European Union's Digital Europe Programme, €25.26259, and co-financed by the General Financing Funds of the Republic of Lithuania, €25.26259. The lesson package can be downloaded from the specified website.